All right. Sample the heat. We're here with my special guest, ninth special guest, Chris Capal. Chilling. Made it over here. You nervous?
I am very nervous. But I really appreciate you having me on. This show is great. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Again, we're going to be crunching into some crispy chicken wings from Wing Station over on Secor and Sylvania. If you want crispy chicken wings, you know, that nice crispy skin, not that batter stuff, go over there. Don't tell them I sent you because I don't even think they know who the heck I am, and I don't think they know that I do this with their chicken wings. Maybe they should know. So go in there and be like, we seen you on that show. Maybe I'll get a discount because these don't get cheap after, 9 episodes. But whatever. Let's get this show on the road.
Let's do it.
All right. Starting off with the first one, Jalapeno Pepper. We brought it back. We did the peppercini last week. This is, kind of a mustard consistency. I'm not going to ever judge you on how much you use or don't use. I try to keep it the same along the way.
Let's do this.
Super good.
It's artisanal.
I don't even know what that means. You can say anything's artisanal. Met
wings.
met this gentleman over at the casino, working over at the casino. He was a slot attendant. I don't know if that's where you started over there. When did you start? How long did you work over there?
Gosh, when did I start? I was going to say, I think I was there for about 3 years and spent about a year, 2 and a half of it as an attendant, and then eventually became an assistant manager in the slot department.
Oh, cool.
I can't remember off the top of my head what year I started, but about 3 years I was there.
All right, cool. Very good. Yeah, I've always known you as walking around, taking care of slots. We fist bump along the way.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit online. It was always a good time. We'll move on right to the next one. We've got the infamous butt plug relief sauce.
Sounds about right.
It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. This one comes out of the bottle a little quicker, so be careful there. But feel free to make a mess.
Butt plug relief. I love the artwork. I want that hole.
Oh wait till you read the rest of the label.
Official stool softener of the new millennium. Butt plug relief hot sauce X. All right. Come on now.
A little more heat, not bad though. So not working at the casino anymore, and we'll get to that here in a minute. Anything you miss? Anything you don't miss? Got a story?
I honestly miss the staff most. The people I worked with, there was some incredibly phenomenal people that I worked with there. Some of who are here today.
Green room.
But I really enjoyed it. Working in an entertainment industry, it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of really cool regulars. Watching people get jackpots and it changing their life was really, really cool. It was a valuable experience. And then, obviously, starting from an attendant and then going into management was an interesting transition too. Very, very fast paced. A lot of action in the slot department. So
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we obviously carry more slot machines than we do anything else in there. So those are played a lot, 24/7. So it's not like you can go without a slot attendant throughout the entire day. Like there always has to be somebody there attending to those players, which is pretty wild. Anything specific changed for you when you excuse me, went from attendant to manager?
I think the responsibility, there's a lot. There's a lot that you have to know. There's a lot you're responsible for. understanding the rules and regulations of jackpots, and there's all these different things that you got to kind of keep an eye on while you're still maintaining, helping the staff out. And I don't think it was really a tough job. I think it was. I think it was just. I think it was just being supportive, like being supportive of the team, being supportive of the staff, and being supportive of the guests too. And I like that. And I like how, like I was mentioning earlier, how fast-paced it was. I like that there was always something to do. You're running around, you're grabbing stuff, paperwork. And to your point, interacting with other departments was really cool too. Like, I love that I got to work with you. You got to work with all the different departments. Everybody was in tandem. So it wasn't just the slot department. It was the entire, it's one big group of people working together. And that's pretty cool.
No, it is. And that's one of the things that I like about my position over there is not only do I have a certain type of guest that I have to take care of, but creating a great working environment and relationship with all the other departments there is fantastic. It's, from walking over to the restaurants and finding out if they're on a wait before you issue a comp to somebody, so you don't immediately there's nothing more frustrating than, okay, yeah, you can go eat. And an hour after you put your name in, that gets a little frustrating, but which is, it's going to happen on a Friday or Saturday night. Our restaurants are good and they get bombarded. So being able to weasel around some of that and being able to take care of people all works hand in hand with working well with other departments, because they will help, no matter where you're at, which I think is awesome. It's a great work environment over there. It's fantastic. We're going to go on to number 3, Los Calientes.
Los Calientes.
It's got a little Latin vibe. Hope you like cumin, because there's a little cumin essence in this. So this is the first time this has been number 3. Usually this is like 4 or 5. Doesn't mean it's going to be that hot, but it's going to be absolutely tasty.
He just doesn't like you.
Yeah, he doesn't. I'll show you for leaving the casino. I like that one.
Yeah. Everybody likes this one. I think there's a little apricot in there. Just balances out that heat.
You get the sweet heat in your meat.
So, what's your current career? What do you do now? You're not at a casino anymore, so what you do?
My family owns and operates a funeral home in a small town. And I am actually a funeral assistant, so I am probably going to be going back to school to get my mortuary science degree. But in the meantime, I kind of do a little bit of everything, which is really cool, like with an emphasis on office work. My grandmother has been the office manager forever. My mom is training under her to take over, and then eventually I'll take over what my mom's doing. But in the meantime, I work funerals. I sit in on arrangements. I literally do just about everything. There's just certain things legally I can't sign. There's certain things I obviously can't be in the embalming room by myself, embalming a body. Like there's checks and balances, but I'm being groomed to pretty much do and run everything, which is really cool because my day changes and you never know when somebody's going to die. So every day is completely different.
Speaking of the times, it's crazy. You talk about going to school and get your mortuary license. Like, what will that allow you to do that you can't do now?
Embalming will be a big part of that. And I think even to just be able to perform a funeral, you have to have, I'm pretty sure, you have to have a licensed funeral director present. So I can't run a funeral on my own. But ironically enough, there's not a whole lot I can't do. But the stuff that I can is very, very important, very, very, from a legal standpoint. So I'm still learning, but that's essentially what my understanding is. I can do the majority of the job. There's just certain things that I can't do without a licensed funeral director being on property.
Good to know. I figure you would have to have some kind of degree just to do one part of it and another type of degree to do another, but just a mortuary license kind of packages that all up into one deal for you, which is pretty cool. See, I went to the right spot. I dug down to the deepest, darkest of depths for this show.
He dug down. He digs it.
So going right along, we're gonna move right along. We got Steve-O's hot sauce for your butthole.
Steve-O!
Hope you can perform a
He
mortuary.
is a juggalo, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. Steve-O was at the Gathering the Juggalos this past year.
No kidding.
Yep.
No kidding.
Steve-O!
It's been there a couple times.
So this sauce actually surprised me. This is bottle number 3 that I have because this is one of my favorites. I can't stop eating it on a regular basis. I figured it would just be kind of cliche for him to stick his name on a hot sauce and it would just be red hot with Steve-O's butthole on it. But it's not. It's actually really good. Tons of garlic in here. Fantastic. I recommend it. I got it off Amazon. You can actually buy a gallon of it. I know you've heard me say that before, and it might be where I go next.
I'm sure he's used this on more than just wings, too.
His eyeballs in his episode.
No.
Yeah, it turned into Visine for him.
Don't touch your balls after you've handled hot sauce. That's like
Yeah.
that's
Eyeballs
priority
included.
numero uno. Steve-O.
Jackass forever, jackass by nature.
Oh, I do like that, though.
Isn't that good?
I do like that, yeah.
So, main goal, is this your forever job? Are you going to carry on the family business and like move forward with this? Is this going to be like Chris's place for life?
It is. And the irony is, I actually, when I was younger, high school, I wanted to be a funeral director. But with me being an empath, I had a really, really tough time, like, with my emotions around families that are grieving. And
It could be hard.
it's
Even if you're not an empath, I mean, it's a
tough.
tough thing.
And I can't compartmentalize. So, like, if I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad day. If I'm happy, I'm happy. I can't, like, just shut certain emotions off. So for me, it was the last thing I want is to be at a funeral crying. But what's interesting is, as time's progressed on, people want to see a little more emotion. They don't want to just see a stoic man that's standing off in the corner in a black suit. So, I mean, I wear a lot of color. Obviously, there are restrictions to that, but, like, I am a more vibrant, I am a more emotional person, and I hug the families, and there's been a couple funerals I've teared up at. I can't help it, especially when if it's somebody younger or if it's something tragic that you're not supposed to be experiencing it, so it's hard to sit there and be a part of that.
Sure, I'm sure it touches you on every. So, restrictions. So you just can't walk in a flamingo pink suit.
Funerals, the expectation for funerals is it's a black suit, white shirt. You can have a little bit of color in your tie, but for the actual funeral, they want the traditional black. But now if we're doing arrangements, if we're doing visitation, like I have floral print shirts, I have, a lot of color. I mix match my shirts with my tie. Very rarely do I actually match. And again, it's because I want to, I'm not this stuffy person that, is going to just stand there and look at you with a cold stare. Like, I want you to be able to talk to me, and I want to have conversation pieces, and I want to clear the air of the room of death, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. So very, very similar situation. I do very similar at the casino. I mean, you could be having a bad day because you just lost a lot of money, but I still want to be approachable. So whether it's like a suit that just creates conversation because it's loud as all hell, or just something that's just neat and tidy and just eye-catching. Like, I think, I don't know, somebody in that nature is very approachable.
Yeah.
And you can talk to this person, and it just creates a different vibe, and kind of maybe might take your mind away from what you're currently experiencing. So, which I think that's really important.
Well,
in what I do and what you do as well. So,
Chris,
in your wardrobe, yes.
it was always really funny. The reason you gave me why you thought you wouldn't be fit for it, to me seemed like the perfect reasons why you would. Because you're like, I'm too emotional. I was like, that's what a lot of people need.
This person won 10 grand. I wanted to make sure to comment though too. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen him in action before. His suits are dynamite. He has amazing cufflinks. He has phenomenal shoes. I love everything about your style. I really, really do. You can see Rob from 2 miles away. He turns the corner and it's bright white suit, or it's amazing. Or like, I've seen you in plaid. I've seen you in paisley. It's unbelievable. I think you have like little skull cufflinks and stuff. Ooh, you're a snazzy man.
I appreciate it. I try to make it fun. It's got to be fun. You know, I work in a fun environment. Why dress plain and bleak when you're there in a fun environment? You know, you're not in a not so fun environment. So like adding fun to that like could be a breath of fresh air for some people. So that's pretty awesome.
I've had guests that don't know your name, but they'll say the guy with the suit, and I'm like, I know who you're talking about.
The guy with the suits. All right. We're gonna add that to nicknames. So we're gonna move right along.
You were Daryl.
1930 or 1999? I don't know. No, Daryl dresses great too. Like he definitely embraces that urban flair. I take the urban flair and mix it with the European flair, and love to do that and have my own little style. Like I don't know, dressing up is fun for me. So we're moving right along. We went from buttholes to dicks. Dirty dicks. Dirty dick. Hot pepper sauce with tropical twist. I don't want anybody twisting my dirty dick, but. So moving right along. So let's.
I feel like this is where it's going to start getting scary.
Let's give this one a whack.
It's going to start getting. Yeah, we're what, halfway through?
Yeah, we're number 5 already.
It's great with the tropical twist.
It's different. A little brown sugar in there. Maybe a little pineapple. Embrace the heat.
Come on.
Good flavor.
Yes.
I could probably eat this on a dozen wings. For a dozen, this might be my threshold. Music, you're a big music guy. We were talking about this a little bit off camera, and we have talked about this in the past. What do you do? What do you like to do? What's your music?
I mean, I've been in and out of punk bands since I've been a teenager. I play drums. I've kind of shifted from a drummer to more vocals and lyric writing. I do have a solo project. It's called Kapali, and my claim to fame right now is I'm trying to be eclectic. So I don't want everything to be. Oh, we've heard this before. It's more punk. So I'm trying to do, space rock. I'm trying to do hip hop. I'm trying to do country, and it's tough because you get in these patterns of like, I'm comfortable doing this, but how do I do this? And then you do this and you're like, I don't know if I'm really that comfortable with it, but I'm willing to kind of try a little bit of everything. I did a lot of theater too in high school and in college. I was in a few musicals. So, and I do love music. I do love, and I mean, if I'm not working, I'm listening to music. And there's a lot of times I'm listening to music when I am working, but music is kind of everything. I associate everything with music. Music makes everything better. Even if you're depressed, put some Pink Floyd on. Like there's so many ways that you can tap into your emotions with music. So, but I really like to sing. My main focus is singing. I've been behind a drum kit for 15 years, and I do like drumming, don't get me wrong, but there is something about singing. There's something about songwriting. And lyrics, to me, telling the story that's what it's all about, is getting that message across, whatever you're trying to. It's hard. It's hard. In a couple of paragraphs, you want to tell an elaborate story. It's tough to do. So I'm always working on it. I'm always cleaning things up, fixing things up, and trying to reinvent what I do.
Well, speaking of hard, like, especially with lyrics, are you one of those drummers that can sing while you drum?
Yes, and I wasn't at first. I had to learn how to do that. I had to learn, because it got to the point where it was like, okay, I'm stuck at the back of the stage. I want Blind Pig. We've played Blind Pig before. I want people to notice me. How are they going to do that? Yes, I can drum, and I'm flipping sticks around and spitting water out and stuff. But it is really cool when like you're playing a song, and then all of a sudden you can like lean over into a microphone as you're still playing. That was hard to do. That took about a year to learn how to do it, because then what happens is your body is all muscle memory. So you're drumming without realizing you're drumming, and you're focusing on lyrics and vocals, and that's where it gets tricky, because then if you screw up, miss a beat, or you hit the snare wrong, it throws everything off. And then you got to, real quick in the moment, get back into drumming while you're still remembering the lyrics and vocals. It's Phil Collins, man.
Yeah, no.
Phil Collins.
Trust me, I understand. So playing at the radio station a lot, I would sit there and scratch over maybe the bumper or whatever's playing before they go into commercial or whatnot. And I'm sitting there scratching and playing, and they'll start talking to me, and I have to stop because my brain doesn't work like that. I cannot, sure, there's lots of muscle memory there, and maybe I could have done something simple, but I'm not a simple person. I don't like to keep things simple, and whatever I do, I always want to be great at it. So it's like now I stop and got to answer a question. They caught this and they were like, "Can you answer a question, even a yes or no question, while you're playing?" And no, I can't. Like it's like I don't know. It's like someone who can't chew gum and walk at the same time. It's like that's what I felt like. I was just like, I should be able to. No, this is not good. I can't do this. Like, and maybe I just don't do it enough. I don't know. Like
shut up, let me drop the beat, and then we'll talk.
then we'll talk after the beat. So,
I gotta drop it first.
so moving right along, we went from buttholes to dicks, and now we're going into Larry's hot pussy juice. This is brand new on the show. I seen this online. I was like, how could I not add this to? I mean. Who gets a bottle of pussy juice?
A lot of genitalia and hot sauce.
In the mail. Like, I got pussy juice in the mail. Like, who does? I'm not the only person, but.
Got that hot coochie sauce.
That doesn't.
Is it good?
It don't smell like pussy. Yeah, it actually does smell good. Although, on the side, this is going to be funny. This sweet and smoky sauce goes well with almost anything, but for real authentic flavor, mix it with tuna or fish spread.
Why?
WTF. I don't know. It's Larry's hot pussy juice. Let's give this a whack.
I do like the cat, though. I think that's pretty cool.
Oh,
like
I'm
that.
pretty sure they had to put that on there to get this label approved. I'm pretty sure it couldn't just say Larry's hot pussy juice and just send it off in the mail.
It's the cat's meow, not for wussies. Okay. Ooh, this
Okay.
is drippy.
Yes.
What do you think?
Is it different? It's not like the other stuff we were eating. Definitely has that smokiness. It's not bad. I don't know if I'd mix it with fish sauce.
Isn't the right spot in the lineup?
I probably would have put Dirty Dicks before the pussy juice. Oddly enough. So moving to the next question. What's your favorite music? Do you have something that like you just wake up every day and I have to hear this?
I would say, honestly, I listen to Typo Negative every day. I love Typo Negative. I love Peter Steele. I love the band. I got a ton of Typo Negative stuff for Christmas, including the jersey I'm wearing. I got my first record player, and I have October Rust on vinyl now. I adore that band. When I'm not listening to Typo Negative, I did mention Pink Floyd and Phil Collins. I do listen to them. I like a lot of the classics. I really do.
I am. I was so sad to hear that the true classic rock moved to the oldie station, and what's classic now requires makeup and long hair. It's just me just getting old, feeling my dad's roots. But Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones is definitely one of my. I think I've got most of the Rolling Stones original vinyl downstairs, and I'm not talking like reprints. This is stuff that was purchased and passed down to me from the 70s, 60s, and 70s, which is fantastic. I don't know. Yeah, the classic rock stuff I definitely groove to. Pink Floyd, I have quite a few. The live concert videos are fantastic because everybody knows his laser light show was just like to die for. He was the only one to have like 24 karat gold lasers. Like, who shoots 24 karat gold beams into the air? And is that even possible? He did it. So, like, that's awesome. That's very awesome. So you definitely gravitate, even though you like everything, you definitely gravitate more towards the rock full band ensemble stuff.
I would say, and it used to be, I used to listen to a lot of punk and metal. So like I used to listen to, I love the Misfits or any variation of them.
Dead Milkmen were great.
NoFX, Rancid, Suicide Machines. I've been to the Warped Tour. That was like growing up, and then as I got older, I started finding, wow, I'm listening to a lot of the stuff that my dad listened to when he was a teenager. So, your Queen, Journey, Styx.
Yeah.
He's got a ton of records of that. Like, there is something magic about older music because they didn't have the technology to auto-tune everything. They didn't have, like, if you wanted, 15 tracks, you were going to record each individually, and you were going to meticulously record them. You didn't have all these filters for your voice. It took real, true, raw talent to be able to do what they did, and anything before, but you talk the 60s, 70s, it was crazy. It was crazy what they were able to do.
I mean, if you played in a band back then and like you were with the band for 5 years, never recorded, you went in the studio and been, the guy recording and been like, yo, your bass player can't play. Like, they're like, what are you talking about? Well, this is what he sounds. Oh shit, we gotta get rid of this guy. Sorry, great 5 years, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah, you didn't have technology to fix all your problems. You had to be that's why we call, like, Prince was a legend for a reason. You know, like that's the talent's there, the charisma's there, the attitude's there. You just can't match that anymore. And I'm not saying that there isn't phenomenal vocalists and musicians anymore, but it's hard to match what they had to work with back in the day.
it is. It's a different form of creativity in the music world, which I embrace it. I still like the other stuff because the older stuff highly influences what's been done today, especially in the music world. But then you got like all the, let's just say you got another 24 colors of crayons in the crayon box that you didn't have when you were, in elementary school, and being able to use those. Like, oh, I didn't have silver. I had to draw light black or gray or whatever you wanted to call it. You know what I mean? So
Well, and anybody can be a musician today, which is a great thing, and it's a terrible thing. Like,
the terrible thing in the DJ community. Terrible thing in the DJ community. Y'all see my post. You know what I do. I'm a bad motherfucker.
DJ Rob Simple. Well, I heard that on one of the episodes. That was you.
So let's get on. We're going right back to the butthole. We're gonna destroy the butthole on this one. Steve-O's butthole destroyer, just because he thought the hot sauce for your butthole wasn't enough, he wanted to hurt you. So
Steve-O's got 2 in this lineup. That's impressive.
yeah, we'll see what you say after that. After this. Oh shit. I might as well just toss this wing in this one. Shit.
I think it's crazy that, like, Jackass is still, like, aren't they in the process of making a new movie? Johnny Knoxville has got, like, salt and pepper hair now, and
Oh yeah, they're all about hurting themselves. So like, if I ain't on crutches now, I will be later.
Steve-O's got beautiful new teeth, and he's a juggalo, and it's just crazy that they're still relevant. It's amazing.
Yeah, this is where things get hot. Local eats. Let's break away from.
Oh, wow. Woo.
Yeah, I told you this is where it lights up a little bit.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little hot.
That's my first one that's kind of tickled my pickle. It's a little hot.
Pickle tickler. I bet you there's a hot sauce out there that's called that. If you find it, send it to me. And I'll mention you on here, or maybe you can just come over and try to put the pickle tickler. Shit, I can't even talk. That one's hot. Local eats.
Tickle pickle.
You got somewhere you like to go? You wake up on a Sunday morning and be like, I have to have this, or is there a food truck, or maybe a combination of both? What do you like out there local?
I'm embarrassed to say that I don't go out to eat a lot. I have 3 kids, so I don't have a what do you call it? When you have like money to do whatever you want to do with it, liquid.
Expendable cash.
Yes, thank you. So I mean, I live pretty tight as far as that goes. At Toledo, I want to bring up Paco's, and specifically because Paco's has become kind of a tradition in my family. Every year, my dad and a group of us go to a walleye game and a mudhead game every year, and then every year we typically go out to eat afterwards. And we've gone to different restaurants, but oftentimes we go to Paco's. My dad really likes the Hungarian dogs. We love the fried pickles. So that's one thing. Unfortunately, I can't really say I have had a lot of experience in Toledo with a lot of like local places and stuff, just because of the money situation. But every once in a while, when I get an opportunity to, I'll pop into a random place. I don't drink anymore, but I used to go to a lot of different bars and try different things. But nothing in the past few years, unfortunately.
Hey, no worries. Paco's definitely a Toledo staple. I get messages from friends that move all over they might have started here and then moved on, and then they randomly found a bottle or a jar of Paco's pickles on the shelf in their local supermarket, like out in California, and they're like, "What?"
And their pickles are amazing. Their pickles
absolutely.
are amazing. Like,
and all of them are like, not just the
sweet
original.
hots are great.
The sweet hots
Yes.
are amazing. Bread and butters are good.
Yep.
I mean, the classic hots are still like my favorite. There was a beer produced by a Cincinnati brewing company called Urban Artifact that was called. It's just pickle beer. It's a pickle sour beer. I know you don't drink anymore, but like they came out with a variant which is very common for most craft beer breweries to do. They come out with a great beer and then they'll do different styles of it, right? So one of them was a spicy pickle beer, and I swear to God, up and down, it tasted like 8% alcohol version of drinking Tony Packo's hot pickle juice.
It's amazing. It sounds amazing. I'm sure it's very delicious.
I mean, it was the pool beer of summer for a minute, and I went everywhere and bought, like, a lot of places you were limited to 1 4-pack, and I'm like, well, I'll find 6 other places to sell me a 4-pack. And it's fantastic. Since COVID, I have not seen it. Hopefully, maybe later this spring it comes back out, but Tony Packo is definitely great. One thing I do know about, I used to go to Anderson's when it was up the street on Talmadge, right?
They had one.
They had a Tony Packo's there, and more often than not, I would stop in and get a dog. But the problem was, if you eat a Tony Packo's dog, you smell like Tony Packo's for
Yes,
the
you
rest
do.
of the day.
Your car will smell like Tony Packo's. Your kitchen will smell like Tony Packo's. Yes.
Yeah, you go play basketball, you will stink like Tony Packo's. Like it's just, your feet smell like Tony Packo's. I don't know what it is. Like Tony Packo's just. Oh, you were at Tony Packo's today, weren't you? Love it.
Oh no.
Here we go.
There we go.
You work in the mortuary. Hopefully this don't put you there.
This tastes like formaldehyde.
Have you tasted
I
formaldehyde?
have not tasted formaldehyde.
Are you even allowed to
I
eat
would
that
not
shit?
advise tasting formaldehyde.
Are you allowed to? I don't know. Like,
Oh wow.
You're one of those guys that soaked his weed in formaldehyde.
oh, why did I do that? All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're wise.
I try to keep the same amount on every wing, like, regardless.
Oh.
Moving
I
into
want
a-
this. I don't want this. I know this is gonna be bad. Here we go. It tastes terrible. I'm not gonna lie.
You get that burnt rubber? A little diesel fluid in there.
Oh, there it is. Woo! Woo! It tastes like you're chewing on a boot.
A boot. A boot. Chewing on a boot.
While it's hot. Woo! Yep.
That's the sauce that keeps on giving, I'm telling you right now.
Woo!
So we're not going to get out of here without talking about Kapal's Corner. You're a local podcaster. You do some stuff online. I don't think I've seen anything like more recent from you, so I don't know if you're taking a break or maybe I'm just not paying attention. But what do you like to do on your podcast?
So, starting with Kapal's Corner, I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to do
Yeah,
that.
no, you're allowed to do
Go
whatever you
start.
want.
Just a little bit. Here's a little bit. Almondy.
Almondy.
Delicious. So starting with Kapal's Corner. Kapal's Corner was actually my brother's creation. One of the twins I was talking about earlier. He started it, and aside from supporting, sharing, celebrating it, I wasn't really involved in it until about the 3rd season. We did a lot during COVID, and then I kind of took a break from it. Things were just getting too crazy. There was too much going on, and I found it was easier at home to do my own personal podcast. So I still celebrate, share, and support them. I'm actually going to be more involved in this current season, which I believe they're on season 4 or 5. I think it's 4. I think we just started 4.
Not to interrupt, but like, what do you use to determine a season? Is it an amount of episodes? Is it an amount of time? Like, because I'm on obviously episode 9 here. I'm like trying to figure out where do I call a season and start a new season.
They base it off of guests, but I think the goal originally was to have 1 guest a month. So basically, you got a full season would be 12 episodes, 1 per month, and they would try to kind of line up the guest with something that was prominent in that month. So like, for example, if somebody was really big into Halloween, we'd pop them on in September, October. Or if it was somebody that was a mother, we would do something around Mother's Day. So we had different parameters, but a lot of it was just supporting local businesses and local talent. I know this season they're focused a lot on the area that they live in, which is Ida. So a lot of it's going to be Ida, Michigan proprietors and you know, content creators and stuff like that. But some of it's just people reaching out too, which is cool. Like they've had people that are like, "This is really cool. I'd love to be a guest on your show." And But my podcast, aside from Kapal's Corner, is again me just going back to the eclectic theme, just trying to do a little bit of everything. I tell, scary stories that I wrote. I do skits. I do dad jokes. I just try to do a little bit of everything. What I'm mad about is it seems like I'll get so far in something, and then it's not that I don't love it or it's not important anymore, but something new will come up, and I'll kind of like, oh, yeah, put a pause on that for a second, and then shift over to this, and then I'll get really deep into that, and I'll still kind of work on this, but then something new will come along, and I really need to just sit down and decide what priority numero uno is, which right now it's music. I'm really trying to get more music out. And what I found that's kind of sneaky is I can also I can use my music on the podcast, and I can have the podcast influence the music. So there is a way I can kind of
Bridge that.
bring in. Yes, perfect. Bridge everything, bring everything in. But for 2022, I really want to buckle down and focus more on my music. I'm behind where I'd like to be right now. I have about 4 or 5 tracks. I would have liked to have been more than that, but sorry, it's hard to think with the heat.
That's a rough one.
It's in the back of your mind the whole time, but no, I do love podcasting. I love content creating. I also do a lot of live videos. Facebook during COVID, I was doing live videos several times a week, and that was a lot of fun too, because that was a great way to stay in contact with people, reach out to people, but I would also use that again to support music or support whatever else we were doing. So,
And I tried. Unfortunately, a lot of things that I do pertains to copyright infringement BS, which Facebook didn't push. So I had to find other avenues, which I find Twitter and Twitch being one of the more easier avenues, because nothing's monetized there, right? So you can't accept a tip, so to speak. I see a lot of DJs on Facebook who are still trying to push that Facebook avenue, and it's like, cash at me, cash at me, cash at me, and then they get shut down and wonder why they're getting shut down, and it's because you're accepting money for royalty based music or copyright infringement, whether you pay your ASCAP, BMI, the other 3 other bullshit things that are out there, making sure entertainers get paid for that. Like I explained, I don't care if you're Beyonce making $3 million a week. She's still working hard and creating music, and you're still buying it, and they deserve their money for their hard work. So I believe in all the ASCAP and BMI. And a lot of people are going to shit on me for that, because they're getting shut down on Facebook for trying to play that, and they say we're supporting them and we're advertising their music. But you're taking some money and not giving it back, type of thing. Or maybe you are, but there's no way to track that. So I always tell people, try to find a different avenue, and I found that with live streaming on Twitter and live streaming on Twitch. Twitch might be monetized, so I think there might be a little bit going on there. But Twitter, I've never been shut down. You can go back and watch any of these episodes. Obviously, there's no copyright here, but you can go watch any of my music video streams, my live DJing. Everything's there on Twitter still. Nothing's been shut down over the last 4 or 5 years, and I've never had a problem. Granted, I don't have the following on Twitter that I have on Facebook, which makes it hard, because you want those clicks, you want to know that people are watching, but at the same time, if I post that link, at least I know who are the cool people, because they are going in, they care. I do want to watch Rob's, so they click the link and they go back, and that might have turned to half the amount of people. Going right into the next one, my mouth is just
I don't want this. I don't want this. This is the scorpion.
The scorpion. I had to poke holes in this just so it would drip. So I almost asked the question in the middle of that one, and we're gonna stay right on your live streaming and podcast stuff. I guess I can kind of pre-ask.
Oh.
You seen that?
I saw it. I saw it. It the pincer was like, here you go.
It's I got a surprise. I got a little Happy Meal on my wing. So is there a new name to your stream that people should look out for? Is it still Kapal's Corner? Is it Kapal 2? Is it Kapal 2.0?
Easiest way to find me right now is to just search Kapali, and I'll spell it for you, because I know it's a little confusing. So if you take my last name, Capaul, you add 2 P's, 2 L's, and an I. And if you look up Kapali, you can find Kapali Music, you can find Kapali Pods and Videos, you can find Kapali Cast. So if you search Kapali, you'll be able to find just about everything. And even on Kapal's Corner, I go by Kapali, so you will find specific videos that were ones I've posted or ones I was featured in.
He gets all Italian.
Those drinking in the back.
Capaulli. That's Kapali. 2 P's, 2 L's, and an I with Kapali.
Kapali, he'll stab you in the neck if you don't pay him his loot.
I gotta do a little more. I don't want to, but I gotta make this fair, because you had that little You had that little Buster Clunk. I don't know what that
I
means,
wasn't going to
but-
say anything. I wasn't going to say anything because I'm not here to judge.
Yeah, it's just not coming out very well, and I'm afraid to go too hard because
You
then
can
I'm
wipe
gonna
it
get
off. I don't care. Like,
I'm gonna get a little Raffish Ralph like you got on yours, and I don't want that.
there you go. There
All
you
right,
go.
this is fair. This is Eye of the Scorpion. How bad?
I'll let you figure it out.
Don't think about it.
Are you going to put guests on your show? Do you have a favorite guest that you've done in the past?
Eyes are watering.
Woo! I'm in the Eye of the Scorpion right now.
I'm there
hot.
with you. I'm
It's
there
very
with
hot, and it doesn't taste very good either. So it's not. There's no.
you.
There's no pleasure with the pain in Eye of the Scorpion. That's the problem. It's pretty much all just straight venom.
Yeah, I think it was better than the last, but yeah. So
Ooh, yeah, it was better. The bomb tasted like garbage.
yeah, hot garbage, by the way. So, but I'm here with you. So
I eventually will have. So through Kapal's Corner, I did do a lot of guest stuff with them. My own personal one, it's been more me and my brothers. I would eventually like to get some more people on and involved, but I got to build it. I haven't done a lot with the podcast in a while. I'm a little embarrassed to say it's been a few months since I've given it some TLC. So eventually, yeah, it'd be really cool to have some people on, interview some people, and I find interviews are a lot easier. Well, obviously an interview is when it's more than one person, but I find anything is easier when you got somebody else because you can bounce off them, you can play off them. You have that camaraderie that you don't have when you're just by yourself, lonely in a closet recording. You know what I mean?
absolutely. I mean, it's the salt to the pepper, right? So
The salted to the pepper.
it just like they play
I like
off of
that.
each other, and like, you know, you could be very monolistic like throughout your talking or what you're trying to convey, and then you have somebody else playing off of you who could just add that next, I don't know, mindful thought to that subject that you're doing. That's why I like doing this. Like every interview's been different. Every interview's been funnier in some aspects. The reactions on different sauces has been different. Like everybody's been different, and that's what I enjoy about this. So I appreciate you coming out on this show.
I appreciate you having me. This is a lot of fun. This is really cool.
You ready for
It's a really
the
cool
last-
setup. No, I'm not ready for Reaper. Don't fear the Reaper.
I think you've really done the worst of the worst. You know, your palate by this time is pretty much destroyed. However, compared to what I was going to give you, I think this one tastes a little better. This is brand new on the show. The Wicked Reaper coming in at 2.2 million Scoville units. Big thank you to Josh Wege from Smashing Toledo, smashingtoledo.com if you want to go to anything that, you know, local eats. You want to support anything, they got merch on there. Great t-shirts, stickers, hats, like fun stuff, videos, interviewing, supporting other local restaurants. So again, if you decide to go out and want something original, go out to smashingtoledo.com, kind of pick something. They used to have it divided up by area in town to make it closer to you. I don't know where you're at, but and they got it by subject. So if you want Mexican, you want Italian, you want food trucks. I think they've even got a food truck category on there. Currently, right now, they are looking for the best brunch spot. Go to smashingtoledo.com or go to Smashing Toledo on Facebook and go tell them your favorite brunch spot. Local, keep it local. Nobody wants to go to Texas Roadhouse and eat scrambled eggs. Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. So go check them out, smashingtoledo.com. They're a huge supporter of mine. I'm a huge supporter of them, and I'm a huge supporter of local, just like they are. Chris, we're going into the last one. This is bottle number 10, wing number 10. I just did it
I'm
again.
going to do a heavy one like you. I might as well.
From Facebook, Danny says she wished you could be here.
Oh.
Josh said earlier that I guess his kids can't watch because of your language and the name of some of the sauces. And Den said you're doing great, Kapali.
Josh,
Thank you all.
shout out to Danny. We're gonna bring you back in season 2, whenever I figure that is. Denton, he's a huge supporter. I think he's watched every episode. Ed was a guest over here. Josh, I'm sorry your kids can't watch, but you can rewatch this after we're done when you're, you know, just chilling after the kids go to bed. And don't forget, Josh does 1370 and 92.9, 5 o'clock every day, or is it 1170 a.m.? 11, maybe 11:30. I don't know. Last week I forgot his FM, and this week I'm forgetting his AM. 92.9 On the FM dial, 5 o'clock every day, restaurant of the day. He'll link in what the AM is. I think it's 11:70 or 11:30.
I'm waiting for him to come.
I don't know. He'll tell you.
In the
Restaurant of the day.
meantime, Jacqueline Simon Federico says, "Hey guys," and also Crystal Yates says, "Chris, I'm so happy right now."
Big shout out to Crystal.
Crystal's amazing.
Crystal, yes, Crystal Yates.
And
There you go.
Jackie, good to hear from
My
you.
bad, Crystal.
Wing number 10.
Let's
Cheers.
do this. So we're gonna French kiss the Wicked Reaper.
Wicked Reaper. Hopefully we're not embalming you after this.
Crystal,
Come on, let's do it. Get it done.
It got a good flavor to it. It's not bad.
It's not. I'm waiting for the heat to drop. I'm afraid. I'm scared.
I think the first two set the tone for that one, but I'm getting a tingle on the backside of the tongue telling me this should be hotter than what you feel. 10th and final question. I know you're into gaming.
You.
Recently have said that you are now an extreme gamer. You stepped up in the world. Xbox or PS?
So I have both consoles. I do prefer PlayStation. I love Sony products.
Yes.
I love my PlayStation 4. I have not gotten a 5 yet. I will get around to it at some point.
Same.
I will give Xbox a lot of credit, though. I do love that most of their games are backwards compatible with the 360 and the Xbox original. So there are some games that I can play on the Xbox that unfortunately I can't play right now on the PlayStation. But that being said, I think PlayStation has the best exclusives. I think PlayStation has the best controller. PlayStation's been great about keeping their controller consistent all throughout the year. If you get a PlayStation 1 controller and put it next to a 5, they're very close. The schematics are there. I love how everything is
the feel.
uniform. You know, with Xbox, and again, I like Xbox, but I never liked how it's like, beep. Like I like that everything is right here. It's symmetrical. It's perfect. PlayStation is perfect. And think of the exclusives, like Infamous is incredible. Last of Us is incredible. Until Dawn was incredible. Bloodborne is incredible. Well, Fallout's amazing, and I actually have. So Fallout is amazing. Fallout's my favorite franchise, but I do play Fallout on both Xbox and PlayStation. And going back earlier to backwards compatibility, New Vegas is my favorite Fallout. You can play that on the Xbox One if you have the 360 version. Now, I don't know if you can play New Vegas through PlayStation. If you can, it's probably through their streaming service, their gaming stream service. I don't have. But I love me some Fallout. I love BioShock. I love Borderlands.
Have you played that?
Woo.
What's that new one with Keanu Reeves in it that came out?
Cyberpunk.
Have you played
I have
Cyberpunk?
not played Cyberpunk.
So
I've
if you
heard-
like Fallout, it's like if you take Fallout and Grand Theft Auto, kind of mix it together without all the PvP stuff, but the story mode behind it is ridiculous. I got it maybe after the third update. The Christmas it came out, I got it. So I never had a whole lot of the issues and the crashes everybody's, but I don't play one-player games. I don't. I have played Fallout, but this game being a one-player game, like I get involved with this story, the storyline behind this, and I mean I'm a huge, I don't know, Keanu Reeves fan. I love that guy.
He's amazing. And he's a beautiful man.
Matrix was one of my favorite series of movies out there, just from storyline up. And this game proves no less. It's just the story behind this, the creation of the character and what goes into it. I mean, you can even, without getting too X-rated, you can even create the size. You can put a penis on a female if you want, or tits on a man if you want. If you create, I mean, but that's the world. Like until you get into the story of this game, like that's the world they live in. It's like, it's the weirdness and like the fun stuff and then the diabolical drug scene and the people you're trying to capture and or be a part of. Like the game is super cool for a one-player game. And I've got to get back into it, but I told myself I'm not going to get back into it until I actually get one of them PS5 consoles. You got one? I want it. Give it to me. Anyway, Chris Capal, check him out on Capalli when he does his podcast. Follow him, like him, share him on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, wherever the hell he's at. Thanks again. It was good to see you. I haven't seen you in a bit, man.
Yeah, man.
This
I
was
miss ya.
awesome. Miss you too.
Before you go, restaurant of the day, 5:05 p.m., 1370 AM, 92.9 FM.
So I was right the first time. 1370 AM, 92.9 FM. 5:05 every day for Restaurant of the Day for Toledo. Go to Smashing Toledo if you have a restaurant that you would like to see featured on Restaurant of the Day.
And we did it. We beat the Wicked, not Wild. We beat the Wicked Reaper.
Wicked Reaper.
Yeah.
We did a lot of Reaper in here, so
Woo.
I think everything Reaper.
Do some more bomb.
Yeah, no, let's see you do. I will if you do.
I will die.
We've got somebody here for that. If you die, somebody will take care of you if you
I'll
do.
bomb you. It's all good.
He can't do that yet, but he'll get her to the right person to do that. So, again, thanks. Episode 10 next week. I'm thinking about Richie. You want to come back for episode 10? You did episode 1. What are you doing next Monday?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Lion ass motherfucker. He said Dungeons.
Roll
and
initiative.
Dragons. We're gonna
Make a
roll-
strength check.
That's it. I'm pulling out all the sauces. We're gonna label them 1 through 20. We're gonna roll 20-sided dice to see which sauce goes on the wing when Richie gets here for episode 10.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
We're gonna round table for that one.
Little hot sauce roulette. We're gonna do it. I think I've got 20 sauces in there, so we're gonna do it.
Don't roll a 1. You roll a natural 1. It's going to be a mix of all of this.
Oh, the cuvee, as Chris brought.
Cuvée.
All right, tune in next Monday, and then the Tuesday after that, we'll have Tony Craven from Table Games. He's going to come in. He says he wants to try the gauntlet, so to speak, or whatever.
Tony Tone!
So, Richie Best next week. Tony Craven the week after that. Peace out.